All right, so the next tree we're going to plant after the Java de Cava is a Barbados cherry.
Cool.
Barbados cherry are one of the more popular trees. They're becoming more popular here now that people are seeing how easy they are to grow.
Right.
One of the good things about Barbados cherry is they can take all day full sun. They don't need any shade protection whatsoever.
That's Arizona sun?
Arizona sun.
Okay.
We have no other kind of sun.
Right.
We don't have Washington sun. We don't have Idaho sun. We just have Arizona sun, so we've got to work with it.
Okay.
So they can go anywhere in the yard. So you don't need to put a lot of thought into microclimate with this as far as sun exposure goes. They can be a little cold sensitive if you live on the outliers of town where it gets below freezing. Generally low 30s are going to be okay for these guys. If you need to, the first couple of years, give them some cold protection if we get below freezing. But for the most part, they're fairly maintenance free. Barbados cherry are generally going to mature in the 5 to 6, 7 foot neighborhood squared, and also 6 to 8 foot tall. That's if you don't prune it. You can prune it to whatever size you want. You can also grow them in a hedge. You can grow it in a pot if you want. They are fairly slow growers, but they'll take up a little bit of real estate. So give them a little bit of room. So we're going to plant this guy here between this mango, star fruit, cherry of the Rio Grande, and it's going to have a good 10 by 10 area to grow and fill out into. One of the other questions that we get frequently this time of year is the leaves, the foliage. They don't look really pretty in the middle of the summertime. And you can see here on the Barbados, the foliage is really small. This is probably about half the size of what it normally is. And it's also kind of a pale green color. This is normal. When you go through the month of June and you've got a week of 120 degrees, the trees tend to do this for whatever reason. That's a normal Barbados cherry for this time of year. They're not really flush and heavily leafed out, dark green. As we start to cool off a bit, they're going to look a little prettier. Another question that we get frequently is, my tree puts off a lot of flowers but doesn't fruit.
Right.
It's Mother Nature.
Yep.
She doesn't negotiate with you. When she's ready to fruit, it'll fruit. There's nothing that you can do with it. You don't need to spray anything on it.
Right.
It has nothing to do with improper watering or feeding or sun exposure. It's just the tree is not ready to fruit yet.
Be patient.
Be patient.
Okay.
When it is, it'll do its thing. In regards to the fruit itself, leave the fruit on there until they're dark red, almost purple. If you pick them too soon while they're kind of just a red, they have a not too pleasant taste,
It's
kind of a
tart.
tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you leave them till they're dark, till the birds start getting them, the fruit tastes good. So you need to go out every morning and check and say, okay,
Right.
are the fruit ready? And pay attention to it. Other than that, you can prune them any size and shape. They don't require really anything special, like I said, other than a little bit of frost protection. And most of our trees will fruit the first year. If you're starting with a 3-gallon size, you're probably gonna have to wait a year or so for fruit. But if
Okay.
you start with something larger, like a 15-gallon size, those are at least 2 years old, you'll have fruit the first year generally.
Nice.
So that's the details regarding the Barbados cherry. We're gonna plant this guy now,
Cool.
and then we'll see what it looks like as soon as we're done with it.
Let's put it in the ground.
Yes, sir.
All right, we all done now?
No,
Not done.
but the reason I wanted to show this now before we cover it in mulch and compost and worm castings is I like to plant the trees a little bit above grade, just a few inches.
Okay.
And grade obviously is the surrounding soil level. So you can see here, this is a little bit higher than the surrounding
So why do you
soil.
do that?
Because when the first water comes in here, the soil's gonna settle 10,
Okay.
15%. So the tree's gonna sink a little bit anyway. 2, most importantly, you wanna leave the crown of the root ball. And the crown is the top of the root ball. And you can see the exposed roots here.
Right.
That's okay. You don't wanna cover those. That's
Okay.
how the tree breathes. Now you can cover that in mulch because mulch breathes.
Right.
But in regards to soil, when the soil gets wet, it's gonna turn to mud. So you don't want to cover the roots with that.
Okay, so the soil will choke it out.
Correct.
But the mulch can still breathe.
Right.
Okay.
So you can see the crown of the root ball is exposed.
Right.
It's a little bit above ground level, so it can sink just a little bit.
Okay.
And so we still need to put a berm around this tree. And the berm I like to have coming out about 3 foot off center
Okay.
with a 4, 5, 6 inch berm. And then inside that well is going to be the worm castings, the compost, and the mulch. And then when you water, you want that entire well to fill up with water. You do not want to water fruit trees with drip lines.
Right.
Drip, drip, drip at one point is not going to encourage root growth. A nice wide water pattern will encourage the roots to grow out. The tree gets established. It can take more heat. It can take more cold. You'll
Right.
get fruit sooner. The tree's going to get large.
So healthier the tree, the better it can get you through the summer, winter.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Nice.
So that's the deal.
Sweet.